The fights in My Hero are probably some of the best fights in anime, and now that's not to say that the fights on this list are the pinnacle of anime by any sort, but they are really solid due to the animation quality and reasons for the battle happening in the first place. But what's going on, guys? My name's Reaper, and today, like the thumbnail and title say, I'll be telling you guys my top 5 favorite fights from My Hero Academia. I do want to preference this list by telling you guys one rule, and that is that there will only be one fight per character, as to eliminate the Midoriya versus oversaturation. Because let's face it, he's the MC, he has a lot of fights in the anime, and there would be too many fights on this list that he would be a part of, and that would just be boring, I guess. So let's get right into it. So coming in at number 5, we got a fight that doesn't really have too many explosions or theatrics as the other fights on this list, but it's still cool nonetheless, and that's Midoriya versus Shinzo. This is still one of my favorite fights to date because we're introduced to two new things in this fight. One being Shinzo's quirk, brainwashing, which allows Shinzo to gain control of a target that he asks a question to and then have an answer as a result. And then once the person is under the control of Shinzo, he can basically make them do whatever they want. The only thing is that contact of any sort will break them out of the quirk's effect. And I think when we all first saw this fight take place and we saw how unique and powerful the quirk actually was, you know, you got Izawa breaking it down and everything, I think a whole lot of people started to stand Shinzo. Like I know I definitely did for sure. But then the other thing is that we got to see the other side of One for All, or the Vestiges, which was cool in and of itself. But then we also got to see All Might, which was the first foreshadowing of his death, and it's kind of expected that a teacher of a shonen protagonist will eventually die, and I guess that just gave way to the theories of All Might's inevitable death. But yeah, some pretty cool things came out of this fight for sure. And like I said before, it's not that flashy in comparison to the other ones on this list, but still one of my favorites. So next up we got Mr. Flaming Abuse Man, aka Endeavor, versus the high-end Nomu Hood. So this fight I think was so damn cool because it not only showed us the full power of Endeavor, and he had Hawks as a teammate, which I'll get into later, but we also get to see the emotional struggle of Endeavor's kids, and them coming to the realization that this fight could go either way. Like, their father might not make it out, or he could actually win. And we also get to see Shoto's reactions to his dad getting stabbed in the eye, getting knocked down by the Nomu, and then the final blow. And I really like that part a lot because it kind of showed how both Endeavor and Shoto were kind of forgiving their past and kind of getting over it, but you know, Shoto isn't completely over it yet, but he still has feelings for his dad, and he's not like totally cold-hearted to him. And I was definitely immersed throughout the whole thing. But like I said before, seeing Endeavor go all out and seeing Prominence burn over and over and over again was just so damn cool. And then the part with the high-end Nomu towards the end of the fight where they're like in the stratosphere or whatever, and Endeavor's like, oh, I see my past self in you, burn up. Like that was so cool. Another thing too, like I said before with Hawks, is that I really like how he was a part of the battle, because if you guys didn't see the movie like I did, which I think that was his first introduction into MHA, this arc was when I was first introduced to Hawks, and let me just say, guys, it did not disappoint. So All Might versus AFO. What wasn't cool about this battle? Like I'm saying, if you are talking about this battle being trash or not being one of the best ones, then listen, I don't know what you're smoking, but you need to go watch that battle again, then come back to the comment section, because this battle had everything, literally. It was the actual culmination of every event leading up to season 3. And just to see All Might go all out against AFO, basically the creator of the quirk that he uses, and finding out that the quirk was created especially to defeat AFO, and then it actually happening in the way it happened, oh my gosh, guys. Not to mention we got the new backstories for not only All Might and AFO's past and their history together, but we also got the lineage of Shigaraki, with him being related to Nana Shimura, aka All Might's master, and the person who passed down One for All to him. And not to mention United States of Smash. This is possibly the best thing All Might has ever done in the series up until this point. Oh yeah, and then the other kids were there too, but United States of Smash. Alright, so I know I just kind of went All Might tard a little bit, but you're gonna have to forgive that, and let's just talk about this next battle right here. Izawa versus the League of Villains. I feel like this is one of the best battles in My Hero Academia, not only because we see Izawa risk life and limb basically for these kids. Izawa in 13, of course, I mean, but it's really Izawa. Let's keep it honest, you know. But then we have all of the skills of the other kids. We have Bakugou, Kirishima, Tokoyami being just put on display like this, and it made for a really good episode. And we just kind of felt a sense of relief once everything was done. Not to mention all of the repercussions that came from this battle and growth of the characters. Like, I remember I thought Izawa was actually dead, because like the Nomu actually slapped his cheeks, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's why it's number 2. It's honestly just a really cool fight. Okay, so I don't think it's any surprise at this point that Bakugou and Todoroki are probably my 2 favorite characters in the show. For terms of favorite in my head, like they're kind of vying for power. Like there's no doubt that these characters are my favorite. But yeah, just seeing these 2 powerhouses go head to head with Bombing King, the OST, playing in the background, that's probably the best OST in My Hero. I mean, it's got some competition with the OST that was playing for All Might vs. AFO, but still, it's probably one of my favorites. Seriously, what more could you ask for? You have Bakugou's explosion quirk trying to blast away all of Shoto's ice, and then not to mention just seeing the expression on Bakugou's face trying to beat Todoroki at his best. I mean, all this really even started before the fight happened, because when Bakugou broke into Todoroki's waiting room to try to get him angry to use his fire on him, obviously so there would be no dispute in who the actual winner of the fight is, you could see why this fight was actually really good. And I don't think anybody realizes that these kids are freshmen doing this. Imagine what the second year festival is going to look like, and then the third year festival, and even when they're pros, I'm sure they're gonna fight. That's going to be insane. Alright guys, but that's going to be a wrap for me today. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, hit that like button, and if you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. My Twitter is down below if you do want to talk some more MHA content over there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.